PMBA Society, and I'm here on behalf of our institution, St. Joseph's Institute of Technology, to host today's session. Now, before we begin, I would like to extend my first and foremost gratitude to our Honorable Chairman, Dr. B. Babu Manoharan Sir, our Managing Director, Mrs. B. Jessie Priya Ma'am, our Director, Mr. Sasi Shegar Sir, and our beloved Principal, Dr. P. Davichandran Sir, for providing us this wonderful opportunity. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our esteemed speaker for the day, Mr. Aravind Anbazhagan. Mr. Aravind Anbazhagan is the founder of EduRiseGlobal, a virtual educational startup, and the chairman of the IEEE Madras Young Professionals. Thank you, sir, for making your presence here. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our Head of Department for Staff and Student Affairs, Dr. Sinyana Kausalya Ma'am, and our Head of Department for Lab Affairs, Dr. G. Rohini Ma'am, for their endless support. Now, before we start the session, I would like to tell a set of instructions to be followed by the participants present here. One, if you have any queries, please kindly post them in the chat box and they will be addressed by the speaker at the end of the session. And number two, the attendance link will be posted at the end of today's webinar, so please kindly fill it. Now, I would like to invite our speaker for the day to kindly start the session.
Thank you, Reshma, for the nice introduction. I was just noting that it's going live on YouTube. I didn't know that. I was just seeing it, and also very glad to see like you have posted so many content on YouTube. That's wonderful. All right, so I'm going to get started with this. I mean, I thought of honestly, guys. I've attended so many I have delivered so many webinars, attended so many webinars. I know like webinars are getting kind of boring, right? So that's why I don't want to make a huge presentation. So I was also telling Vijay said that like if I do a 40-minute presentation, it's not going to be something new for people, right? Because I'm sure all the content you would have already seen, found out a way to already watch them. So what I thought was make it as a bit more interactive. That's the reason I thought of collecting some questions. I got around some 12 questions from your team. So that's one. The second is since I was about to talk, so before sir was sir was saying about like to talk about young professionals. This was a very similar presentation that I delivered on Sairam, but that was more for third years, final years, for them to get involved with IEEE after you graduate, right? But what I thought would be something helpful for you guys is what is something that you want to do in a student life, right? How you can leverage IEEE in your student life. Would that be helpful for you guys? Let's say if I share some tips around how you can use your membership. Like most of you are in your second years. I have also started with IEEE when I was in my second year. Yes, no, quick guys, would that be helpful? Or what would be the most helpful thing for you guys? If you could also let me know, we could do that. Thank you, Siddharth and says yes. Yes. Okay. So this is usually okay. Wonderful. So a lot more people are saying it. I think that's what I found very relevant for you guys. Since that I'm sure many of you would have taken IEEE by seeing your seniors or seeing someone or attending the membership development talks or talking with your professors. People join IEEE in so many ways, right? But to make use of it, you can follow a certain tips, which is what I'm going to share now. Yes, I think you should be able to see my screen now. I think yes, yeah, perfect. So let me present this. Okay, so here's the first tip, right? So this is a part of the presentation which I do for guys. Can you see my screen? Can you type it on the chat box? Yes. I think it says yes. Okay, perfect. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to move. Perfect. All right. So this is a part of the presentation which I do for the people who haven't joined IEEE. I usually tell them like these things, right? Like why you should join all these things. I'm not saying all these things to you guys because you are already a member. And I also tell them these specific things, right? Once they join, it's not like they will get everything in their plate, which is what I think you guys also experience like you might have heard so many things happening to so many people, but hey, nothing happens for me. IEEE doesn't come and give me that. How many months you guys are members of IEEE? Since many of you are in second years, a quick question: how many months you are being with IEEE? Where do I see the chat box? I'm not able to see the chat box for some reason. Give me a minute. Okay, close to a month, less than a month, not even a month, only a week ago. Wonderful, wonderful. Then this would be super helpful for you guys. Okay, so the first foremost thing, right? If you are someone who joined IEEE just 1 month ago, right? The first and foremost tip that I would suggest you to make the best use of IEEE is explore the web, right? You can attend a lot of sessions, you can attend so many such webinars, watch so many videos, but the real thing is you won't really know, right? You can just go to this ieee.org website, which is, I mean, we can also together explore this. This is a great place for you to get started, right? Go to www.ieee.org and find out what is all there. Trust me, when I was becoming a member, I spent like most of my time going through these things, like understanding about what is IEEE, how does this work, what are the different committees, what are the different work that they do. So it's very basic, right? When you want to do something, when you want to grow at something, you really have to know the basics. And this is a time where you will have the natural curiosity, right? I think the reason that you guys are attending this webinar is a whole reason for that. You want to know more, you want to expand your network, you want to understand more about IEEE. So just go ahead and do that. First step, go and explore the web, right? The second tip for you, super helpful tip for you, start writing emails. Okay. I don't think a lot of people will push this for you when you are a student, right? Like you could get things done just by talking with your professor, right? You could get things done just by talking with your senior. You could get these things done through a WhatsApp message, through a LinkedIn message. But the most important thing, the most relevant thing that I would say to you guys is start writing emails, right? Let's say if you guys finish this session today, addressed by me, I will definitely share my email contact towards the end. You guys you can write an email to me, right? Just saying like how was the session. So the reason why I'm saying this is when you write an email to people, one, it helps you to build that connection. Second, it helps you to build the skill of email writing, right? Because the moment when you go to a professional environment, when you go to either a corporate or a non-profit, like wherever you go, right? The first thing they'll ask you to write an email. If you want to apply for a leave, they'll ask you to write an email. You want to apply for anything, right? You're completing a job, you want to go home at 6 o'clock, they'll ask, your manager will be saying like, hey, send me an email of whatever the work that you have done so far, and then go to home, right? So in that moment, you can't go and think, hey, how to write an email? Like, whom should I copy on the email? What is CC? What is BCC? What is a subject? How should I respond to an email? So all these things you learn when you are a student volunteer, right? The moment when I like in my professional experience, when I went to work for the first time, I was working with Teach for India. With the kind of emails that I write, people always think like, hey, are you coming from a bank? Do you have a lot of work experience before you join this organization? And I always say no, because IT has taught me all these things, right? Because whenever I communicate with my seniors, whenever I communicate with someone, I always write an email, and that's how you learn. That's how you practice and learn. Yeah. The third tip would be to participate. Okay, so this is a great chance that you guys are doing. I think around 70 people are here, 68 people are here. All of them are IEEE members. They're choosing to participate on this webinar, right? You won't get anything to you deliver. Okay, nobody will come and tell you, hey, you can do this thing. You have to participate. There's so many people. Only when you participate, you get to learn more. You get to do something for the community, right? I'm sure your student branch is doing a super wonderful job in terms of organizing activities, providing volunteering opportunities for you, mentoring people. But the most interesting thing is, again, only when you participate in all these things, people learn. Similar to your student branch, IEEE Madras section is doing so many activities. IEEE India Council is doing so many activities. Region 10 is doing so many activities. the thing is, only when you participate, you learn. Okay, so again, an example that I would say is when I was a second year student, there used to be so many technical talks that happen at Madras section office. So the office is in Koturpuram. I'm sure you guys should come and visit someday. It's opposite to the Anna Centennial Library. Okay, but these days they're not doing any technical activities in person, considering of the COVID situation. I'm sure you guys also know, like, your colleges are being closed, right? Shut again. So the thing is, when there used to be a lot of offline activities, I just finish off my college, I just go there. Okay, I don't know anyone. I do not know what's the kind of technology they were talking. I think like someone was saying about ANN, artificial intelligence. These are wonderful things that you guys are aware of, right? When I was a student, I didn't know all these things. Like, I just go there, I just understand what they're saying. It's usually super technical topics, right? But then I try to understand what are they trying to say, right? That's how it all started. So when you want to learn something, when you want to be a part of a community, just go ahead and participate. Okay, don't think like someone will come and invite you. Okay, whenever there's an activity, just go ahead and participate. The fourth thing is build connections. If you want to stay like being a part of community, it's always important to build relevant connections, right? Like one of the things that I would say is when I was a student again, these are experiences from my second year of college student life, right? What are things that I did? I was attending a national student congress event. Um, Till then, okay, the way that I used Facebook was very different. I used to post some pictures that I take. I used to post some like some random things, right? Some random music, song lyrics, and all these things. And then meme culture took place. So all these things are happening. This is back in 2013. There was no Instagram, there was no WhatsApp, all these things. So everything happens on Facebook. When I attended this national congress, when I just sent a friend request to around like 150 people, when I got them on my network, the kind of things that I started seeing on my newsfeed drastically changed. Suddenly, I saw about Google Student Ambassador Program and Microsoft Student Associates Program, right? I never knew all these things existed before that. Or I mean, I was not a person who thought of searching it online, finding it, and then doing it, right? My social media become a place where I will learn things. So it's all about building that relevant set of connections. I understand now you have very less possibilities of interacting with people offline and then building those connections, right? But still, you could use LinkedIn as a tool. LinkedIn is a great tool. I see so many of your student branch members being very, very active on LinkedIn, which is a great thing, right? Like it definitely builds an impression for the people around. Okay, so what are they using their LinkedIn for? And it definitely helps you to build your connections. So start using LinkedIn, build connection with relevant people. And what I've seen with IEEE people, when you have that IEEE brand, right? When you have that IEEE tag on your LinkedIn profile somewhere, either on the title or on like your cover picture or somewhere, right? People naturally tend to accept your request. One of the reasons being, hey, if this guy belongs to IEEE, this guy wants to do something interesting. That's the hope. That's how I got connected with so many people when I was a student, right? Because of that IEEE being a thing. And also genuinely try to learn from others, genuinely try to connect from others, genuinely try to help others. That's the way you can build your connections. And the fourth thing, I think a fifth thing would be find mentors. This is again a very interesting perspective that I would say. Mentors are the people who have crossed the path, right? Who have actually been there, done that. So what you can do is find them. I'm sure a lot of your student branch volunteers would have done so many things. You could just connect with them. You could take help from them, right? And most of the people would like to help you. You might think like, hey, what are they getting in return? They're not paying them anything. Why are they helping us, right? I think a perspective would be so many people have helped them, so they want to give it back to some people, right? So that's how it usually happens in a community. Mentoring, all these things happens not because people will find some, hey, if I could help this guy will do something for us. No, they do this because they will they want to share the knowledge that they have experienced with someone else. So that's the whole perspective of it. Write an email to people asking them what kind of support do you need, and then people will definitely do. Okay, so I think these are the 5 tips that I thought of sharing with you guys. I think what's the time now? It's 7:54. I think Okay, I think I can also quickly run through my journey. I mean, I usually elaborately say about all these things. Now you can find this on either my LinkedIn or all the places, right? It's all over. So I'm going to quickly say this. So this is when I started in 2013. I heard from my seniors that you can do something, right? Like you guys have already crossed this. You guys are already in a part of IEEE. And then we started an initiative called as White Talks. I was attending a national Congress event. So this is what I was saying, right? In 2013. In 2014, this is a very interesting story. This could be one of the inspiration story for you guys. So this is a competition that was happening at an R10 level, Asia Pacific level. Okay. So my role as a student member was whenever there is an opportunity, I just take those information, post it on our student branch Facebook group. Okay. Within our college, there'll be some 100 members. I just share this information to them. So when this competition was happening, I just made a post on my college group, okay, on a college Facebook group, and then I left it. Okay, so then the final deadline came. I just went and saw on the Facebook groups. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with groups. So when someone else posts something, it goes on the top. Okay, the post actually settled down on the top based on the engagement. If a lot of people are commenting, it will come to the top again. So what I did was I just went and commented saying that, hey, this is the final deadline. Do you want to participate? And then something struck me. Okay, so I'm saying, people, you guys can go and participate. Why are you not participating? Okay, again, going back to the tip of participate, right? I didn't know about writing about anything about blogs. Okay, I didn't know how to write something. I don't know how to publish it online. So this is the first ever blog that I wrote. Interestingly, this blog was awarded second prize at the Asia Pacific level for me sharing about my IEEE experiences within 3 months. Okay, the winner was from Pakistan. Since it's a Asia Pacific level competition, the winner was from Pakistan. She was a student branch chair, and then she won a cash prize of $400. I won $200 for just sharing my experiences of 3 months, right? So IEEE always recognizes your work. Just go ahead and participate. Do not have limitations for yourself. Hey, I haven't done so many things. I haven't experienced so many things. No, nobody cares about all these things. People always care about what is your intention, what is your passion, are you willing to do the work? So that's the whole aspect of it. So this is one of the things that I would strongly encourage. Even if it's a global award, just go and give a try, right? I failed so many times, right? In my profile, you would have always seen the awards that I won, but if I start writing about the awards that I lost, if I start writing about the awards that I just simply gave a try, it would go for like 10 pages. Okay, so that's how it always is. You always fail and learn. So don't worry about, am I eligible? You don't need to think about that. Whether you are eligible or not, there are judges, there are people who are on the top who will decide it. You don't decide it. Okay, so that's the thing. And in 2014, this happened. So this is a Mermaid Scholarship that I received. This is, of course, for the second time that I applied and received. And then this is a competition that I was part of. You could definitely find more about it online. IEEE Extreme, IEEE Match C. Like, these are some of the competitions that I volunteered for. Again, I'm saying this, I'm just doing this in a run so that you guys get an idea, right? So in 2016, I joined Teach for India. It's a brave decision that I took to work with a nonprofit after completing my engineering and having so much of technical interest, right? Being part of communities like IEEE. The reason for doing this is the kind of exposure that I got, which again was more relevant for this award also, right? This is the Larry K. Wilson Award, which is provided to one outstanding volunteer across Asia Pacific region. When I was able to do all these things, I was able to recognize, like, hey, we could do different things. We could try out new things. It's okay if we fail. It's not like nothing is like set in stone, right? So that's the kind of perspective that I got. So I think all these things happened in 2016, 2017, 18. I was able to work with 30 students, amazing set of students in 4th standard and 5th standard. Best time of my life I ever had. So this is a picture of, I'm taking them for to Bodh Gaya for attending an IEEE event. They were coming and presenting. We were doing something engagement with the students, right? School students. So that's how it happened. And for all this work, IEEE actually provides something for school teachers. Okay, it's an award for school teachers. And I became the first person from Asia Pacific to win this award again. So these are things that I didn't expect that IEEE will support. IEEE supported in so many ways in whatever that you do, right? Not only when you're a student, but even when you try new things, right? IEEE as a community support you, IEEE as an organization supports you. So this award boosted my morale in so many ways. I continued working with Teach for India. And in 2019, I started working with young professionals. So this is a part of the Global Young Professionals meeting in Atlanta. Okay, so don't think like all these things will happen in like 1 week or 1 month or 1 year, right? So this is years of work put together, and then you learn, you constantly grow. The point I'm saying is your growth doesn't stop, right? Your growth, whatever that you're doing, will not stop. You continue to work even after you graduate. I think I'm seeing so many volunteers getting involved with young professionals in different capacities, at different volunteering roles. So it doesn't feel like you're moving away from IEEE. Okay, so this would be too much of content for you when you're a second year student, but still I'm saying, right? In 2020, yeah, so this I delivered, I think more than, I don't know, some 60 plus sessions. So this is a older presentation, and I started off on my own. We were trying out new different things, and then I was setting up for a YouTube channel, which is the, I'll share the link with you guys soon. And I mean, 2021, I haven't actually added, okay? So 2021, I haven't actually added. So 2021, I'm also working with the Tamil Nadu state government education department, right? So this for the, I mean, this has been happening for 3 weeks. I haven't told many people. So I started doing an internship with Tamil Nadu state government. So this is a new update from me in 2021, trying to understand what happens in education at the state level. So these are new experiences that I'm getting. So yeah, so this is all about the presentation that I had for you guys. I think one of the things that I would do before I close off is, okay, I have a bunch of questions, right? Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, before we go to the questions, I'm going to ask some quick request. I told you guys that I've started a YouTube channel, right? I'll quickly show you what is that I'm doing on the channel. I'm just sharing the link on the chat box. Okay. Okay, I think I should start it in full. Just give me a minute. Okay, here is the channel. Okay, I'll quickly show you what is that I'm doing with the channel. This is again an experiment that I started around 1 year ago with my IEEE friends. So we're creating this nice different videos for different people. Overall, we wanted it to be an educational channel. This is a very recent video that I posted about smart grades in Tamil. Okay, so I think this is one of those videos which I took a lot of time, and then I spoke about like smart grades in Tamil. So continuing to make such videos. That's the reason why I was asking you guys about what is that technology that you guys are interested in. Okay, so please go and visit the channel, and it will also be great if you could hit the subscribe button, as they always say. I think we have around 1.28K. I think around 70 people are here. If you guys could help, it can go to 1.29. Okay, so I think I have a bunch of questions that's asked by you guys. Let's take a 30-second break, and then we'll come back. Okay, to the questions. Meanwhile, if you guys want to take a break, you guys can also do some stretching and then come back. Okay, let's take a 30 seconds break, and then we'll start with the questions. Okay, I got a break to drink some water. Are you guys back? Yes means drop a yes on the chat box. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. I like Siddharthan's energy. Like the moment I ask a question, he's on like point, right? I definitely appreciate you guys taking an attempt to share your answers. You know, these are things that really helps IEEE members. One of the tips that I would definitely say is first things first, okay? This is the tip that you should have in mind if you want to grow in IEEE or in professional career or anything, okay? The moment someone asks about a question, okay, or a feedback, or anything, right? Anything that involves audience. Because I'm saying this because you guys are in second year, you will attend tons of sessions. Okay, you will attend so many sessions in the next 2 years. So many sessions, you won't even believe the amount of sessions you guys are attending, especially if you are an IEEE member, right? I have been attending, I don't know, some 6-7 sessions, 7 sessions, not delivering, right? I also delivered some 3 sessions in a day, but attended around 6 sessions, 7 sessions. And you get to speak, you get to interact, you get to do things so many times. The speakers will always ask, hey, what is the feedback? Okay. And always I have kept a rule for myself, and they always tell my juniors, my so many people, other people who volunteer with me, whenever someone gives you an opportunity, first raise your hand and then think. Okay. Because when someone asks for a feedback, the first thing I'll do is I'll always raise my hand, and then all the pressure will be on me. They'll come and give me the mic. Then I have no other choice, because the moment when you ask your mind, it always say, hey, you are not listening to the session. Who are you to share your feedback? What will others, what will your friends think? What will someone else think? What will your professors think? No, nobody will think anything. Okay. It's all happening on your mind. So the first thing is always, whenever someone asks you a question, put your hand first and then think of the answer. Okay. Would you do that? Would you do that in your next 2 years or from today? Whenever someone asks you a question, would you be willing to answer, right? That will help you to grow in so many ways, because that's how I'm going to be launching something called as EduRise Show on my channel, where I'll be interacting with people. When I was start thinking about the first speaker, I found an author. Okay, so this person is interestingly my senior. They were able to accept the request only because when she was delivering a session in my college around, I think in 2014, which is in 7 years ago, right? I gave a feedback to her, which is something that she still remembers. Okay, out of the 300 people crowd, I actually stood up and then I told the feedback when I was in my 3rd year of college. She still remembers. I think the video will be up by this weekend. We have done a beautiful interaction about like acceptance, all these things. Okay. So yeah, so that's how you build your connections. So that's an experience that I wanted to share. And let's go back to those questions which you guys have given me. Okay. So I think I have around some 12 questions, which is given by sir. So what I'll do is I'll actually quickly try to answer all of them. And then what I will do is I'll also give you guys some time to ask questions in real time. Okay. Because I love hearing questions in real time. Yeah. Okay. How can we publish an IEEE paper? Wonderful question. Okay. Let's answer this, right? There's something called as IEEE Explore. Now, this is the Bible of, I would say, the technical aspects of IEEE. There are so many papers out there. I think someone was saying about artificial intelligence. Okay, let's go and search artificial intelligence here. So many people are publishing papers. There are more than 5 lakh plus technical documents over here. What you will find is so many relevant papers, right? Of course, I think not all the papers could be downloaded through IEEE student member login, but one of the interesting things would be, okay, did someone mute me? Okay. One of the interesting thing would be you will find a lot of technical knowledge. The first thing you want to know when you want to get started by publishing a paper is the first thing you should know what's happening in that specific field. Okay. How to publish a paper? First, enhance your knowledge. Second tip I'll always say is find relevant team members or find your professors who is on the specific field. You don't need to approach only your class coordinators. I think since you guys are in second years, like the way department works is everyone works with everyone. So that's how engineering college departments work, right? Of course, you can keep your college class coordinator posted and then talk to the professors who are relevant on that field. They will give you so many ideas. Of always they will, from what I've seen, my professors, they always have so many ideas. They're looking for people to just think with them, brainstorm with them, and then write a paper, right? So start with engaging with IEEE Explore, try to understand more about IEEE. Even if you can't download a full paper, you can just read an abstract. That will itself give you so much of clarity. And then find your professors, find your team members, find your other college student members, right? Or people from other departments. I have published papers with it, from my college, from different departments. So use that as an opportunity, right? In IEEE, you could work with different people from different colleges, use that opportunity. That's how you get started. So it's a great that you guys are starting to think about publishing IEEE papers. It's a wonderful way to get started. Of course, make use of your mentors also, right? If you have people on your final year who could help you in writing a paper, just go and help them. So this will also help you to develop your content writing skills. That's always there. Yeah. What are other various benefits of IEEE? Okay, I'm not saying what do you mean by other. I always say maybe some 2 to 3 things, right? Okay, just I'll go back to the presentation itself. What are the, yes, here is the thing. Why IEEE? Okay, so I don't know. I don't think you guys would have already gone through all these things. I'm just rushing it through. It's a global organization. You could volunteer. You could get involved with so many people. There's so many things called as IEEE standards, which you can make use of. IEEE Explore is a great place. You can get involved as a volunteer too. And IEEE is a lifelong association. Whatever that you're doing, you start as a student member and then you work. I mean, you continue working with the organization. You can move till life member. I have put only till senior members, but then this community is also people with so many different people. From what I'm telling you, you guys will definitely know I'm an educator, right? I'm with teaching. I'm not into much of technical research, all these areas, but I can show you hundreds of people who are into research, hundreds of people who are into industry. So it's a community that's beyond careers. It's a community where you can contribute by volunteering, where you can connect with other people. There's a tool called as IEEE Collaborative. You can also compete. There's so many competitions, okay? And you can develop a lot of skills. You can either technical skills, managerial skills. There are so many areas where you can contribute by volunteering, and then every department has something. So I heard so many people belongs to the electrical and communication. Of course, there is ComSoc, there is CAS. People are saying about EMDS, photonics. There are so many societies, right? For every person who's interested in every field, irrespective of the department, there are so many things. So this is some things that I put down. That at the end of the day, it's a community, right? It's a community of people. So you work with different people, you learn from so many people, and then you get a lot of learnings. So that's what I would say. What can be done in this lockdown period to spread and educate members, educate students more about IEEE? I think we are doing a wonderful job on that, doing so many webinars. But what I feel like something that could be done at a student branch level, right? I'm sure also this could be a tip for you as a student branch. Guys, if you are looking at webinars, I would say the time is over, right? People have started webinars. It has started getting momentum. It has hit the bar. Now it's coming down. The engagement level is going super low, right? Honestly, I didn't have that kind of energy when I feel like doing a webinar again, right? Because you can't see people. You can't see. I mean, you keep on speaking in front of a computer, which is kind of boring. So that's the same with all the speakers as well, right? So what you could do is do a lot of competitions, involve a lot of, I would say, excitement around it, right? Do Kahoot quizzes. So you can do quizzes on Kahoot, right? Kahoot is a great tool that you can do. I'm telling all this. Yeah, so this is how you can do some quizzes. I'm telling all these ideas from seeing different communities, right? I'm also part of the NAS Academy. The NAS, the 1 minute thing, right? That's 1 minute, see you tomorrow. So that community, I've also, since I was a video creator, digital creator, I've attended some of their courses. I'm also their alumni. So that's what they do. They do very interesting things, which is not kind of webinar kind of things, right? So think innovative, try to understand from different communities what they're doing, and then try to implement. Yeah. Educate students more about IEEE. You could do, you could write blogs, right? You could write blogs, you could make videos, you could do so many things. And yeah, be innovative. Be innovative. That could be one point. How can we be updated about latest IEEE international events, activities, programs? Where do we get the information from? First thing, foremost thing, your Gmail. Okay, whatever email that you have provided. Every day I get around, I don't know, some 15, 20 emails from IEEE. I used to look at the subjects and then filter them out. Okay, whatever that's relevant. IEEE Madras section, I think, sends around 2 to 3 emails every week, right? Just go and read them. If you're looking at international events, what I would say is some places, right? Follow IEEE.org or IEEE.org in all the major channels, in LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever that you're using actively, right? Follow the main IEEE page. They will post so much of content. And also follow IEEE Young Professionals. We also post a lot of content that we know of. And there's so many events that are happening. You just go do a Google search if you're so much interested about all these things. If you want to know all these things in an organic way, of course, use social media. Try to follow the IEEE pages. Yeah. What are requirements for attending an international conference from IEEE? Depends on what is the conference you want to attend. Recently, I know this. I'm not sure if you guys know this conference, ILC. So this is a conference that doesn't involve a lot of technical presentation and stuff, right? I think this year it's going virtual. It's a WIE, Women in Engineering run conference, but doesn't necessarily only not only for women, right? I've seen so many men attending and then getting benefited from this thing. I don't know they're charging about, I don't know if they're charging, but this is a, okay, what you can do is go to this. I'm not able to find the chat box. If someone could go search it on Google and then share this link on the chat box, it will be helpful. Oh, I think they're charging. Okay, so there are so many conferences that also happen for free. If you get a chance, I'll definitely let you know, guys, through your sir. But the other thing is, there are also a lot of conferences that happen for free these days, right? The other most interesting way to get inside a conference is one, presenting a paper. If you publish a paper on an international conference, you could definitely get inside. I'm just thinking of the other ways that I do. So one of the other ways is to support an initiative by doing an outreach. Okay, so recently we were doing a stall for IEEE Inspire India, which was led by Meera and team. So many volunteers from different colleges came through, and then they hosted a stall, right? So very similarly, we also do a stall in conferences, and then we get a pass to as an exhibitor, right? So that's one way of doing. But then if you want to attend, you can also attend by paying some amount as a registration for specific for IEEE members. So okay, so they'll always have a discount, so you could attend. And I think there's always, if it's a virtual conference, I don't think they'll be charging so much. Like they might also charge, considering they need a focused set of audience, right? A lot of people register for so many things and then they don't turn back. So that thing is also existing. Yeah. So that's about it. Is it really worth the money for joining in Photonics Society, and what are the ways to explore more opportunities in this society? My another query is that what are the procedures for applying for conferences abroad with free travel grant? I think a great person to answer this question is Meera. I think she's into Photonics Society a lot more. I've also heard her experiences talking about, there's a specific conference that she also attended abroad. Meera, do you want to answer this question? I think it would be much more relevant if you are on the call. Or what you can do, if she's not on the call, just go and ping her, go ask her, write an email to her asking like, hey, what is this conference? I know she has attended something very relevant to photonics somewhere. It happened in US like in 2 years ago. That's what I heard from her. So yeah, Photonics Society, from my observation, I closely volunteered with Computer Society, Professional Communication Society, but I've been invited to an event organized by Photonics Society, which is a mentoring program. And interestingly, there was this IEEE's Photonics president in itself was there. She was so much of down to earth, and then she was helping us in so many ways. What I found with Photonics Society is now, given that the light technology, right, the overall technology is blooming so much, they're seeing so much of activities happening for the members. So I would say it's a great society that's under, I mean, that's already grown so much. Okay, so you could find so many ways of to grow with the society. And for the specific travel grant, you can reach out to Meera. That would be a great thing. Yeah. How to make this platform useful and how I have been active member in IEEE. I told you 5 tips. Okay, so just follow these 5 tips initially, and then you will get to figure out. Okay, once you find a mentor, they will give you so many of these ideas. All right, how to develop a good network between people using this forum, get new contacts of people and similar mindset students to get included in project. Wonderful thing, go and participate on activities. Okay, so the moment I was telling about the Madras section story, right? When I was attending the first ever activity, I didn't know anyone. I get to meet some 4 different people from 4 different colleges. Okay, I just interact with them, connect with them offline, get their numbers, and actually follow them on Facebook. So that's a great place how I got to build my network. Okay, so that's how you start. Just participate and then you grow. Okay, you don't grow it very intentionally, but you grow it in an organic way. Yeah. What's the main advantage of joining IEEE? Different for different people. Okay, it's not the same thing for everyone. It's different for different people. For me, the biggest advantage that I had is the kind of opportunities that I got. Right, I've never been a person who actually takes up things in a complete way and then do it. I know like some parts of it, but for me, I have done national congress events where I have took care of the entire program, of course, with the help of a committee. But the biggest advantage I would say is the kind of opportunity, the kind of responsibility that you get, and the place where you can do so many mistakes, right? Where you can fail so much, where you can do mistakes so much. That's a place that, I mean, that's something I feel like every IEEE student member should leverage, right? Try out new things, fail. Now that's perfectly fine because you're doing it as a student. When you become a professional, then you do it, they will fire you, right? They will, I mean, of course, they won't fire you, but they'll say, you have a responsibility as a professional, right? When you're working somewhere, when they're paying you. But when you are a student, when you're a volunteer, you get to do so many things, try out new things, but don't make mistakes intentionally, but try to make your best. But even if you fail, you always have a backup. So that's what I'm trying to convey. Is it really worth the money for joining IEEE? Depends on you again. If you're going to use it, then it's worth the money. If you're going to get your membership card and then keep it somewhere and then not attend any of the events, no useful at all. Because it's, I know IEEE is a lot of money, coming around some 2,000 rupees. But I also know like the samosa, that's, I mean, I don't know about your college. In your college, I think they should be giving food for free because it's a part of the JPR group, right? I might be wrong as well. But the thing is, if you go to a canteen, a regular canteen, and if you purchase samosa, it will be costing some 10 rupees. Okay. Let's say you're going to college. I know like you guys are not going to college these days. But if you are going to college, if some days when the corona is over and if you're going to college, if you go to, I mean, some 200 working days are there every year. Okay. Though every day you consume a samosa, it's coming around some 2,000 rupees. You are spending that amount on samosa of 2,000 rupees every year. Okay. And here's a society that can offer you so many things. So if it's really worth the money, think of that, think in that way, and also make use of it. Okay. It's not like you just take it and then not making use of it. Make the best use of it. That's the session is all about. Yeah. How do we decrease the technology gap between students and industries? The way that I'm seeing all these things is because the kind of syllabus that you are reading is somewhere a bit more not updated, right? It's not like technology is growing every year. Okay, I think someone was saying about AI. AI started doing so many applications these days. It will change in a year. Okay, when you're looking at things changing over a year, you're looking at you're looking at a syllabus that's created for 4 years, and when you complete it, it will be completely outdated. So how to decrease technology gap is enhance your knowledge outside your college. Okay. Attend technical activities, technical events, go for internships, go for different activities that involves industries, right? Industrial visits, all these things, that could be a great place. Now I know, I think it won't be of much relevance considering everything is happening digital. But again, this has some more advantage, right? You could do freelancing, you could build your digital profile, you can improve your skill sets. There's so many opportunities that's also there. It's not like because I can't do anywhere in person, I won't be able to do. You have so many opportunities again because it's a lockdown. You also have so much of time, right? Honestly, this is a huge resource, guys. When we were going to college, I'm sure you guys will also experience. You have to wake up like much ahead. You have to get to a bus and then experience the college for 8 hours. You have to come back. You'll be totally tired. Now you don't have all these things. You have an online class, of course, but make use of the time that goes into your preparation, your travel, all these things. Yeah. How do we decrease the technology gap? What I would say is get more exposure. That's the only thing. What are the technical activities comes under IEEE, like internship other than volunteering activities, and how do you approach that? Okay. Technical activities comes under IEEE other than volunteering. Other than volunteering, if you want to look at it, okay, there's so many ways that you could contribute to IEEE, right? Other than volunteering, I mean, there are people who become staff members, but they're usually people who have so many experience on this community building part. More than one, let's say if you're looking at something around getting involved with an organization that somebody is working towards, right? Maybe this is how it happens. Okay, I've been to so many internships offered by different people. The only thing they look out for is whether you have the interest, whether you have the passion, whether you have the skills that you need, right? For me, IEEE has been a place where I showcase all these things. Okay, IEEE never comes and gives me, I didn't get a letter from IEEE saying that you got an internship. But because of this IEEE experience, I get to get it from like someone else. Okay. who has been a part of my network. It could be young professionals. I mean, in Madras Young Professional, we have people from different companies. Okay. So if you're doing exceptionally well, they could even help out. Or there are so many people in the world, right? There's so many people. If you go to LinkedIn, you will find so many people. They will be happy to help you out. The only thing is you need to show a relevant set of work experience that's already existing. You can't go and do that within a company when you haven't done it outside. So build those skills, right? So the way that I would say is whatever that you want to do, just create a portfolio for yourself. Okay. The first thing would be, the thing is, let's say you are into technical topic, right? Just write a technical paper. Just try to build a technical paper, publish it on a national conference, and then try for an international conference. That would be one way of doing it. The other tip is, let's say you are thinking about management, all these things. Do an event, volunteer for it, of course, use those experiences, and then get into an internship, right? Saying like, hey, I have hosted this event, which is of 80 people. 80 people have attended this webinar. We got a speaker. We did all. Now this experience will be a huge thing it will pay back to you when you approaching for people. Okay. And then of course, so many things that you can do for free, right? YouTube is something that you could do for free. You can write a Medium blog that's free of cost. Of course, I do a session on 10 soft skills for every engineer and how to build them. Okay, now this is a session that I do that doesn't involve any cost for people to build those skills. It's just using online tools how you can build. Okay, so that's a session that I do. Maybe I mean, I could do it for you guys sometimes, but there's so many ways that it is relevant. It is possible. It's not like it's not possible. You could build a digital portfolio by your own, using your own skills without any help from anyone, without any investment of money, right? So that's always possible. And I think those are the 12 questions that I got. Do you guys have any questions? I think I took so much of time. Okay, questions have started pouring in. Okay, thank you, Hemalata. What is the criteria to apply for student awards and scholarship, and how can I equip myself? Wonderful question, Hemalata. Criteria to apply for, okay, let me show you this. There are different awards. Okay, it's not like the same awards. Just give me a minute. I have actually penned down a blog on my LinkedIn. Okay, so this is a blog that could be of more helpful to you guys, because one of the days what I thought was, I became very curious along with two other people who won the Richard E. Mermaid Scholarship from Hyderabad section, and then we were doing some research around. Okay, so how many of such awards are existing for people, right? This is an article that I have wrote down about list of scholarships, awards and grants for IEEE student members. You will find eligibility. This comprises of all the 39 societies. There are so many awards that's available. You can find the eligibility using this specific blog, and yeah, and how to equip yourself. What I would say is, focus on what you're doing, right? Focus on doing it well. I think that's a great place to get started. So even if you're preparing a social media post, try to make the best social media post. Okay, that's how you start going at one step, right? So equipping yourself also includes, I would say, things like using social media well. One of the things that I always tell people is, whenever this is a practice that I follow, right? I think I'm not sure what is the purpose that you are using your social media for. People do different art, so many things, right? If you go into my Facebook profile or something, I'll always have the list of activities that I have done. Okay, I'll always have what are the activities that I'm speaking, or what are the activities that I'm volunteering. So when I'm actually doing this award application, it becomes very easy for me. I'll just go back and then I'll just review those Facebook posts, and then I'll create an award application, right? If you don't do that, if you're not noting it in some place, you'll definitely forget, right? This webinar, you have attended it, but if you're not noting it in some place, you'll definitely forget it, right? That's the point. You should always take notes of whatever that you guys are, participating in. Yeah. Okay, so is plagiarism strictly considered when you submit a paper at IEEE, and how to overcome that in future for improving it as well as doing it better in making journals? There are so many online tools, Kamalesh. So you make use of those online tools. Just search for plagiarism tools. Just paste your content on the paper, and then try to see how much software is plagiarism, right? There are so many tools on that. And when you are an author, just try to be very conscious not to take away any content from anyone and then post it. It'll create a big thing, because the moment when you're plagiarizing, people will very easily find out, right? And there's so much of process that IEEE has. When you become such an, when you plagiarize some content, they'll put you they won't allow you to publish paper for some certain amount of years. So that's always there. Okay, it's a big concern. When you're a student, always seek help from your professors. Do not do any papers on, I would say suggest do papers, but before you publish, seek your help from your professors. They will be familiar with so many of such tools, right? They will definitely help you out. So that will be helpful. How can you find a better paper for a topic we're searching for that? There's always something called as Subhanand, there's always something called as index. I think Bino said, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think these are papers that are being cited so many times. Okay, so just there's something called a H index. So if you are searching it on Google, sir, is that the right one?
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
Yeah. So what you can do is use that as a tool. But it's not a only indicator. Okay, but that could be an indicator where you find that paper has been cited so many times and it's of most quality. The other thing I would always say is go to your professors, right? So yeah. How can you find a better? Okay, that's something I answered. How to receive funding for projects or conduct workshops, events? There are so many places where you can apply for funding, right? Starting from your student branch will have a lot of funding. You could make use of, just write a proposal, approach your student branch counselor, your student chapter advisor, get the funding done, and then do it. Madras section opens up a lot of funding opportunities, right? There's something called a student project funding. I think this year they are opening it out for masters as well as PhD students. At the Madras section level, you could participate on that. Just go and explore the web, right? The first step, go and explore the web. That would be a great place where you can find out all this information. Like Region 10 opens up project competitions. There are so many student branch level funding opportunities which are available, provided by Global MGA committee. There's something called as SPAC. Okay, SPAC Student Professional Awareness Conference. If you search for it, you will find more information. They'll give you funding from $200 to $500 for a student branch leadership activity that you are organizing. Just make use of it, right? So explore the web. That would be a great place. Perfect. I think we are at 8:31. Should we take a minute and do something interesting? Okay. I think a lot of people were asking like, how do I build my network? Okay, so this is something that I do. Okay, I'm gonna make a LinkedIn post. This is just to get connected with all of you. Speaking with IEEE SJIT student branch members, 80 plus enthusiastic participants join. Are you attending the event? Okay, so I think someone was asking about how can I network with people. So this is how you network. So the moment when you do an activity, you could send a request to them. Of course, I don't want to miss any of those interactions that we always have, right? That's why I'm making this post. I'm going to copy this post. I'll paste it on the chat box. You guys could go there, drop a comment of how was the session, what is something that you find helpful, and also send me a connection request so that we are in touch. And also send a connection request to the other people who are dropping a comment, right? Who could be from your same college, in case if you're not connected with them already. Yeah. And if you're not using LinkedIn, go and create your profile today. It's going to be super, super, super helpful, especially if you are already into IEEE, because you will find a lot of professionals, a lot of people in LinkedIn. And the way people use visiting cards, right? I think I printed a visiting card sometime when I was in my 2017-18. I'm not even using this these days. Okay, it all becoming LinkedIn. So yeah, that's a place where you can network with people. Start using LinkedIn more. Perfect. So that's pretty much from my side. Over to Bino sir. Yes. Does IEEE provides internship like other IEEE sources provide? Kamalesh, no, IEEE as an organization doesn't provide you internship. They also do, but it's on a very small scale, right? Considering we have around 430,000 plus members, there'll be few staff members. Okay, very, very few staff members. I think some 100 or 200. I don't even know the numbers, but But the people in IEEE, the people who are volunteering for IEEE provide so many internships, right? Even for EduRiseGlobal, I'm just now thinking, like, would someone be interested? We're just thinking of doing it as a formal structure and then rolling it for people. Or similar to me, like there's so many volunteers out there, right? Who will open up opportunities, who will open up internships. But the interesting thing is always about create your profile, create your portfolio in such a way, whomever you're approaching for internship, they won't say a no, right? To do that, you need a place where you can do things. Okay, only when you organize an activity, like some 50 people will come and attend it, you can actually put it on a paper, right? If you to do that part, IEEE can help you. Did you get what I'm saying? So IEEE doesn't provide you internship, but IEEE can help you to create that experience, can help you to create that profile, which can help you to get internships, which can help you to get that visibility. Yeah. Okay, so one second, sir, you developed yourself by reading paper. How can we develop us technically? I read this thing called as IEEE Spectrum. Okay, this is something that I always share with people. IEEE Spectrum is a great tool, guys. Okay, so go and find this tool. This won't be a lot of, I would say, like it's not like IEEE papers, right? But they will actually try to get the technical knowledge and make it more user friendly. Okay, it'll be more or less like reading a blog. Okay, so that's how it always is. And IEEE Spectrum is a great place where you can improve your technical knowledge. They'll say so many resources, right? So they'll talk about much broader technologies that's going to come 5 years later, right? I've seen things like so many things evolving in my professional journey, like including AI, so many things. I've read so much of those things when I was a student itself, because I was following this specific blog. And apart from that, read IEEE newsletters. That's a place where you can also get a lot of knowledge. Yeah. Good to see so many people dropping a comment. Thank you guys.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions from student side?
Before I think also another thing that I also have for you guys, right? Your student batch is doing exceptionally well. One of the things that I always heard from Bino sir is like the kind of activities that you do, right? You do so many webinars, so many all these things. It's always important that you take your student batch to a next level. Okay, so one thing is be innovative, try to understand what's happening around the world. Don't set your benchmark at colleges within Madras, right? Don't set your benchmark with colleges in India. Don't even set it in Asia Pacific, right? Think about all the global student branches across the world. What are they doing? Go and find about it, go and research about it, and then try to replicate those activities to be one step ahead of them. Okay, so that's how you build, because you have so many members, you have to give everyone an opportunity, right? So only when you do exceptional activities, people can volunteer, people can get involved. So you have huge responsibility, right? As an IEEE member, as a volunteer, make use of that, be one step ahead of like all the student branches. And that's my wish for all of you. Yes. Yes, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. If there is no questions, then Reshma, you can conclude the session.
So may I begin?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. On behalf of the Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, St. Joseph's Institute of Technology, I would once again like to thank Mr. Aravind Anbazhagan for taking out time from a very busy schedule and for providing us with your highly informative insights. My heartfelt thanks to our beloved chairman, Dr. B. Babu Manoharan sir, for organizing such a wonderful webinar. My sincere thanks to our managing director, Mrs. B. Jessie Priya ma'am, and our director, Mr. B. Sashishekar sir, for their guidance in conducting the webinar. I would like to express my gratitude to our principal, Dr. P. Ravichandran sir, for his support to conduct this webinar, and our department heads, Dr. C. Jnana Kausalya ma'am and Dr. G. Dohini ma'am, for the words of encouragement and guidance. I would also like to take this time to sincerely thank our department staff and the organizing team for arranging this webinar successfully. And last but not the least, My sincere thanks to all the participants for your active participation and support. We truly hope that you learned something of value here today. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I think I've also dropped my email on the chat box. Also, I'm dropping my Instagram ID on the chat box because I think it's more easy for people to connect, right? So please feel free to write to me if you need any help. And you guys, all the very best. I'm wishing you super awesomematic